Bert, he's on
Talked to him this morning.
You did? Yeah.
Golly, y'all.
Just,
It's
yeah,
small,
Nashville,
really.
well, Nashville's so small. What amazes me now is how, like I go to a Titan game, I'm a big Titan fan, walk in there and 70,000 people. I don't hardly see anybody I know. And everybody's happy, it's so much fun. But it's just amazing, this place is so big now.
Yeah, you used to know everybody
Yeah,
in Williamson County.
yeah.
Well, you know anything about the history of this place?
Not really, Vance, except, you know, from 1918, not much happened. My grandmother and grandfather lived down where Capital Bank and Trust is, that 19th and West End is where they lived, in one of those old houses on West End. And this was kind of the summer home. And my grandfather died in 1940 when I was 6 months old. I never knew him. And then my grandmother lived down there up until about 1947, 48, and that's when they moved out here. And this place wasn't insulated. So they had to, I don't know that they were insulated really. Then my father added a big bedroom and a bath on the back of it. And I can tell you how it was arranged or something. The big house, there was a little house over on the back, which my grandmother's cook, Cora, who's a lifelong cook, lived in that house. And she had a son named Ed who lived there and kept the grass cut and stuff. Then there was a house behind it down the side of the hill, which would be right over here somewhere, called Babel's Tower. And it was some old German guy that must have been kind of strange, but he would help around, and he lived there for years in that little old white frame house. And he built a tower on top of it, and they called it, I don't know if it's
Tower of Babel.
It's Tower of Babel or something like that.
Because you can speak English.
That's right, baby, I don't know. And then they had my mother told me, I was talking to her today to see if she remembered anything, and there was a little granary right there at the back of the house, and she said all she remembers is how that attracted a bunch of rats. So, and then there was a garage, two-car garage back at the back, and then back in here there was a kind of a tractor barn with a loft, and then a stable, another barn with 4 stables in it, and a hayloft in it, and then they kept the fuel tank right up here for the tractors. Then the Edwards lived over here in the Denny's.
Wasn't there a store here at one time, was that before your day?
That was before my day, right down here on the corner. I remember the old building, probably the Orms or something like that moved in there. But it was an old, I remember the old frame building right on Johnson Chapel and Brandon White, vaguely. And it was torn down and it's big.
And Morels.
Then the Morels over here, Mark and Bobby, we'd get out here in this field, right over here and play football on Saturday. Yeah, Bobby, you know, played for UT. Yeah, I told him I'm sure that football, yeah, I was such a football star. I made it through Woodmont School playing football. That was the extent.
And then the states, were they out here then, Navy State? Harley State?
I don't remember, they were later too. I'm trying to think who else. There was a house right down there, right across from the gate that went down to the dairy barn. I remember there was a big old pump down there in the field way down where Johnson's Chapel went down and turned, and that road goes along the creek, and up on that hill up there was a big old antique pump that my father was always having to go down there and try to repair. And I remember it was, as a little boy, I just remember this thing had these big arms on it. It's an electric pump, but it had these long arms, or something would do stuff that you don't see now.
Yeah.
And I remember that, and remember all the little calves that get in there and play with them. They didn't like that very much, but it's a great place.
Where'd they sell the milk?
Back when I
Did
was
he go
little,
Jersey
they,
Farm?
no, I went to Anthony's Pure Milk.
Okay,
And then they've gone to Jersey Farms and Purity. My grandmother had another farm out next to the Hermitage, another dairy farm called Bearville, that she inherited from her father when he died in 1908. And one of those went to Purity later on or something, but Anthony's was the one I really remember out here, down on Woodland Street, I think is where the place was.
the man that owned Bell Reed before the Kennedys bought it, had a big dairy farm.
Mhm.
And I believe he started Jersey Farms,
Hmm.
milk company.
Yeah, I didn't know that, because I remember the oldest of Tom Herbert, T.L. Herbert was one of the Herberts owned it when I knew.
Okay.
I don't know how he acquired it, but, I was trying to think of, of course, Owens lived over there, and, Franklin. But, you know, I just come out here and just stay right here, and I remember one time we walked, Carol Nelson, Minton Nelson and I would ride horses up that little road, which is where Mountain Way is now. You remember the old gravel road that went up there?
You can still see bits and pieces of it.
Yeah. And then we went up there and bought a little dog from the man that, in the horse barn back there, a little fox terrier named Brownie. And we had that dog for 15 years while I was growing up. He's a sweet dog. We bought him over there from that man that worked at Mr. Ward. But,
You remember Mr. Howard Gardner, Carl's father?
I remember him as this big old man, that I, you know, a little big old boy, and I remember this big man, and there were, what did he do, how did he make his living? We went up there somehow to do, there was something he was doing relating to the
I think it was a four-letter word called land, L-A-N-D.
Is that right?
Yeah, he owned a lot of it.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I thought it was something, maybe it was just working together, like they would, everybody would kind of work together on getting things done, like I was telling Mr. Morrell, you know.
Well, he had where the Shell service station is.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
It's called Old Hickory.
Oh, okay.
Bryan Road. And also where the old wagon wheel beer joint was.
Also where the bank sits down there. Oh, now it's Corky's Barbecue.
Yeah, so, I know Ted went to school at Hillsborough with my wife, they were in the same class there. And they had the same garden, his wife and my wife in the same little garden club there,
Yeah.
so we sued him all the time.
Carl married Marilyn.
She's a sweet lady, she just passed away.
Did she?
Yeah,
Oh, you she had a heart attack when she died.
I think so, yeah. Carl died, yeah. I know.
Yeah, he died 3-4 years.
Maybe she didn't, but I know Carl did, and Carl was such a great guy.
I'm in the same high school class with her, and I don't think she died.
She's
Well,
she's in the
maybe-
nursing home over here.
Okay, I'm wrong then, maybe I'm just
Just
mixing it up.
Just
Stroke or
stroke.
something, she's in not
She-
very good health.
Yeah, no, she's not doing
Yeah.
well.
So, interesting area, and
She's in Sutherland Place.
So is that right?
I used to raise chickens over, had a house built over on Chickering Lane. And I was the scourge of the neighborhood, and I raised chickens.
Chickens on Chickering
Carl would come over, he wanted some of my baby chickens, he liked the way they looked. I thought, well, he was great. And had peacocks over there. Bad news.
Garden.
I tell you, this interview is almost as good as the one I did with him.
I bet he would be good. He's such a great guy.
He was so outspoken.
Yeah, just, well, he was great, he's just a wonderful man,
And would tell you anything, and he always had very strong opinions.
yeah. I try to mince my opinions sometimes, because I've been known to say things that I'd say, I wish I hadn't said that. Yeah, that's, Carl, he's just great, but it was something, he wanted to come over there and maybe I had some guinea fowl over there. He might want some, I don't know what then they had pygmy goats and all kinds of things over there.
You had a regular menagerie.
I did, my children have never forgotten it. My neighbors, former neighbors had me, but that wasn't very nice. But one didn't like it and others, everybody else liked them, but one neighbor. And I can understand now, I thought it was pretty hard-headed at that time, but I can understand. And 50 roosters crowing when the sun comes up. But I got that.
Well, I have to show you one thing, man. I
Okay.
was trying to get you back into the history of this place. This is the Civil War. You know, there was a battle that took place here. You're aware of all that?
Yeah, around Brentwood.
Right here.
Right here? No, I wasn't.
On Landmark.
No, I was not aware of that.
Oh, okay. Well, this one has just been discovered not too many years ago at the archives in Nashville. And this is a description of it. And this was Rucker's last stand. After the Battle of Nashville, this is where the Confederate Army drew its last gasp. And the map of it that is so interesting here. And Mary Lou, what did you do with that?
So it would be you, Alan.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you.
And right, this is where it says that he's General Rucker, he was Colonel Rucker, was captured, which is right here in Landmark.
Now, where is?
Okay, this is where he was,
Okay.
right there. And this would be, I guess the one that goes up Johnson Chapel, there's the church.
Mm-hmm.
There, that's the old Johnson house. Anyway, that's not interesting.
You know, I did read some about the Confederate, the war between the states, about the Battle of Franklin and everything. And, you know, that was such you're the historian, but the war was already lost.
Yeah.
You know, and they were coming back up here.
So.
That's right, and they were coming up here, and you know, the Battle of Franklin, the Battle of Nashville, all such important parts of our history, but it was kind of a futile attempt.
But there was a skirmish right here, and there were casualties, and I asked somebody, Tom Bain, I believe, where the soldiers were buried who were killed here, and he said, in Landmark.
In Landmark.
I thought that was so interesting.
How did Tom know?
He knows everything.
Oh, man,
He's
he's sharp. Sharp man. But this is the kind of history of what happened.
Yeah, anyway, I thought that's so interesting.
I'd
Did
love
you get a
to-
shot at it?
yeah, turn around here and let's see if we,
It's gonna be hard to tell anything now. I did not know that, though, that's.
Okay, that's good.
yeah, it's pretty good, yeah.
Then we can almost read this.
Where is the church, though?
Johnson Chapel Church. Well, the old Hickory's not there, 'cause it
Yeah.
wasn't built till much later, but there's the church right there.
Now, where's Brandon White over here?
This is right.
Brandon White, okay, all right. That is nice. And a little Harpeth be on there.
And that's McCrory right there, and that's the house right across the road.
Mhm.
Do you know Lee
Is that the
Sherman?
little Harpeth?
No, that's the old road, it goes over Franklin Road, the old, one way, you and Carroll Road horseback.
Yeah, okay. It's, how did Brentwood get its name? You know for sure?
No.
I've heard several.
Yeah,
stories.
I'm right. Yeah, I think what it boils down to, there was a house, because Brentwood, was not here until the 1850s, until the trains came.
Yeah.
And so it's sort of a Johnny come lately, historically. And there was a house here named Brentwood, and I think that's where they picked that from.
Okay. I'll tell you something that's interesting. My wife and I, we lived out here on a hill off of Manley Lane for 8 years and just sold our house about 6 months ago. And we bought a lot over on Waterswood, right off of Battery Lane. And the stone fence isn't there anymore, but that stone wall, I'm sure went down through there, it stopped somewhere back up there, but we were just digging for the basement on our house, and we hit this 12-inch cast iron pipe, and nothing in it. The guy said, well, what do I do with it? I said, well, there's no easement across our line or anything, so just kick it out. He did, and the only thing I can figure is that had to be the 12-inch line carrying water from Radnor Lake over to Radnor Yard.
Mhm.
That's the only thing in the world I could figure, a big old 10 or 12-inch cast iron pipe. And I've sensed there was something in the Tennessean this past week about Radnor Yard and about the old turntable, you know,
Round.
yeah, all of that. Roundhouse, yeah. And they said they really got rid of all of that over there around Charlotte, the yard and repair yard and everything, moved out to Radnor about 1918. And I figured that's probably when they impounded Radnor Lake and put that 12-inch.
And that pipe burst
It
at
did.
one point,
Huh,
and some way across Franklin Road,
yeah.
down there about where Hogan Road is.
Yeah,
Mhm,
well,
mhm.
then that's about where this would be going,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right down through there.
John Sloan owned that Radnor Lake for a while, didn't he?
Owens did.
Oh, no, okay.
Owens did, yeah. And then they,
Mrs. Johnson, Jr.
oh, she owned it? Because Owens owned it.
She was on.
Oh, Miss Johnson, Delphine,
Yeah.
yeah. Did she own, well, her
No, I
family
don't know.
Owens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, you sure did, she wasn't on. But that was, I had no idea where that pipe went, but when I hit that, that's the only thing it could be. And,
But somewhere I had read that, let's see, where you could verify that, but I bet that's what it was.
if you find out, yeah, that's all it could be. It's a big old thing. And I thought, well, if it's something important, we're gonna find out. And it was dry. I couldn't imagine it being much of it. I didn't realize, that's the only thing I can think of it would be.
'Cause it was gravity fed.
You know, I think what you all are doing here is so good.
Well, it's fun.
It's fun, it's fun for me too, and but we ought to learn more from history, and I was involved with Historic Nashville for about 15 years, and down there at Market Street and all of that, and to see that evolve with the waterfront, and that's, our heritage, what it was before, needs to be remembered and studied, I think.
I think they finally came up with, today they announced they had come up with an overlay for Lower Broad
Oh, I think it's so good.
to preserve the
That's
historic
right, I
building
saw that,
and let the Weston Hotel go on, go
yeah,
rebuild.
but back, I was on that board from 72 until probably 85. And they were, you know, starting to look